Good evening, we're live on Facebook. This is the Derby Debrief. If you were with us at the start of the matchday programme here on RamsTV around about 2:30 this afternoon, you would have heard this man next to me, Shaun Barker, say, not really that bothered about the performance today. I just want to get the victory. And that's exactly what unfolded, wasn't it? It wasn't a terrific performance. It wasn't a classic game of football, but it was so important to pick 3 points up and be heading back up the road with the trials and tribulations of going behind, conceding a late goal just to get the 3 points and, you know, have that win.
It was, and I also mentioned about the character as well, what kind of character we needed this afternoon and what we wanted. Last couple of weeks have been disappointing because we've found ourselves ahead in the game at half time and haven't performed for 90 minutes. Today wasn't about the performance, it was about getting a result, and we got that. We showed signs of digging in at times, especially in the last few minutes where it got a little bit more tense than it needed to be. A couple of players were outstanding. Louie, Sibley, who came in and scored 2 glorious goals. Smith was excellent in goal, which at times you're going to need your goalkeeper to make big saves, and he did. But all in all, we go away from Oxford with that confidence that we can go away, pick up a result. We don't have to play unbelievably well. We still did enough away from home, got the 3 goals and got the 3 points.
And normally when you talk about a team that goes behind in a game, you talk about their character, their spirit, their determination to get themselves in front. But actually, for once you were saying, well, maybe today that's been a little bit different to what's happened in the last couple of weeks. That might actually have gone in our favour. Well,
it can be difficult when you go ahead, when you're dominating. We've seen a couple of times where we've got a goal, or against Shrewsbury we get 2 goals, and you almost there's a bit of nervousness to kind of keep on going and to open yourself up in case you concede, and then obviously the game changes. Today when you go a goal down, it's about a reaction, it's about getting back into the game, it's about more drive, more determination to make something happen. The first 20 minutes I thought Oxford were the better team. They got the goal. It was a really poor goal to concede. We gave away far too many free kicks in dangerous areas, but from that moment we just started to build that little bit more resilience, that little bit more desire to go forward and to be aggressive and to land on second balls. And again, I go back to the point, we were better in both boxes. We took our chances. Oxford had chances. On another day you might draw that game or lose that game, but when it mattered, the likes of Louie, Sibley that stepped up, and in 2 instances where he had an opportunity, he took them wonderfully, and that was on his weaker foot.
Yeah, we'll hopefully be hearing from Louie Sibley at the Kazam Stadium shortly, but let's head there now and hear from the manager. Paul Warne's been speaking after that game to RamsTV.
Paul, congratulations, 3 points on the board. Was that the sort of reaction that you were looking for from your players?
Yeah, and you know, all of us, the staff, everyone's involved in it. It was a good win. It was really difficult. It was difficult for many reasons, but the pitch was lively as anything, and you know, we didn't have much control in it as much as we would like. But like League One, unfortunately, sometimes away from home, it isn't about control and what you do. It's about scoring goals and trying to defend resolutely. My favourite part was, you know, all the lads were together, all the subs were screaming encouragement to their teammates, all the ones who came off give everything they could, and it just felt like a real squad effort, which pleases me. And you know, we probably could have scored late on, but we kindly let them get a goal back to help everyone's excitement in the stadium. But yeah, really good, and even better the fact that, you know, I said to him before the game, like, if something goes wrong, it's not a drama, just keep playing. And obviously we conceded early on, hugely disappointing, but we reacted really well. So yeah, really pleased.
Was it a big test going behind early on? Because there's been a lot of talk in the last week about the Shrewsbury game, the Plymouth game, that you led those games, but you showed the reaction that you wanted to see from them, and you deservedly led at half time. Yeah,
well, in fairness, that might be the future. Instead of going in the lead and then throwing it, we might be better off to let them have one and then have a go. I just wanted a performance over 90 minutes, and like I said, was it an amazing performance on the ball? Did we have complete control? No, we didn't. And you're not going to away from home, but it's just about doing the right things, and 9 times out of 10 we did. There's times where we should have cleared it or played forward earlier, in fairness, because they were just pressing, but we didn't. But it just pleases me that we kept it simple in, you know, difficult situations, and it's the same for both teams, don't get me wrong, but it felt like a day that something random would win it or lose it, and luckily for us, it won it for us.
2 cracking goals from Louie Sibley today.
Yeah, great, yeah. I joked earlier that if he'd have got a header, then I'd got manager of the month just by seeing him as a 10. But no, he done really well, but he had a really hard job out of possession. He was marking their best player. Brannigan, if you can stop him from playing, if you can stop him from scoring from free kicks, although we give him enough chances to score from a free kick, but done really well. And deserved his goals, and I didn't take him off for an ovation, by the way. I'm not that guy. I took him off because he looked goosed. But really pleased for him because it's hard when you haven't played for a few weeks, and the fact is, in fairness, prior to that he'd been playing left back. So, and like today, my left back, and I ended up putting him on left wing. So the best players can play in different positions and give it their all, and Sibs is one of them.
The lovely third goal as well, which came from a cross. The first goal came from a cross. The second goal came from a cross as well that was sort of recycled in the box. So that's the value of getting the ball in the box again.
Yeah, definitely. And I asked Colo to play between the two centre halves. As soon as it goes wide, do not support the wingers. Leave them. Just get in the middle of the box, and good things will happen. And he made the right run, got good contact, and might have been aided by a deflection, but as a striker, that's definitely a striker's goal. Don't worry about that. We'll see if we can edit it for him so it doesn't look like it touches anyone else on the way in, but I still think it's going in. I went to Disney a lot as a kid. I'm a believer. So really pleased for Colo. His work rate was a joke, and on another day he might have got the odd free kick, but wasn't to be. So yeah, cross, goal. Love a cross.
You made a couple of changes today. A few of them were enforced with McGoldrick and Knight being injured. Did you feel that you needed to mix it up a little bit after what you spoke about after the Plymouth game?
Yeah, a little bit. And there's always that thing of, it's a squad game. I always go on about it's going to take everybody to get to where you want to be. You all play a part. And then if you never change the team, you're just full of took. So I have to change the team sometimes. Sometimes it just needs freshen for freshen's sake. Sometimes it just needs new faces. Just new faces, because as soon as if players get complacent and think, well, we lost, but Gaffer's going to play me every week, it's a problem. So I was really pleased with the lads who came in. I thought, Curtis had a bit of a shaky start, as did the team, in fairness. I'm not highlighting it, but then the second half he wins loads of headers that is just absolutely fundamental to the success of the performance. Sibs obviously we spoke about. Tony on the left, thought was really good. Like, had a real energy. He's like a good old-fashioned can of Coke, full sugar. So really pleased with him, and like sometimes you just need an energy and a desire to play football, and he definitely plays like that. Hence why I really like him. So really pleased for him. I'm just trying to think who else I brought in. Who else did I bring in?
Curtis came back in, Rooney as well.
Well, Roon's always feels like he's into me. Roon's was really good. So a really good performance. Like I said, in difficult circumstances. I think we'll play a lot better and lose. So the fact that we've played at that level today and won is really pleasing.
How are Knight and McGoldrick?
I haven't spoke to him after the game yet, but I'll speak to him on the way home. Okay, they're both. I think Knight is telling me he'll be available for next week. He'd tell me that if his leg fell off, so that doesn't surprise me. And Didsy's virtually the same. Didsy said he felt a lot better on Friday, and maybe the game's come a bit too soon. But in fairness to Didsy, sometimes it's good that he does have time away, because then you get him at his best when he's fully fit. So, with all intention and purposes, and with everything's been said to me, they've both got a really good chance for next week. So having Birdie back's a right boost. Got a lot of time for that kid. So. We leave today feeling good about ourselves. Virtually the whole echelon of players are fit, so it's just trying to get them all in the team.
Last word, brilliant backing again. They've covered some miles this week, the supporters, and you guys as well. Yeah, obviously, as always, I really appreciate it. I presume the 1,600 who went to Plymouth came here. If they chose Plymouth over this game, they're crazy, but a real effort. But I think the fans, including us, were a bit shell-shocked with our start, and then as the game got going, they got better. I even saw the bounce today. I haven't seen that for a bit, which is hugely impressive. But as always, I really appreciate the fans, because it makes a massive difference. And when you're struggling, or if you're winning, the lads want to enjoy it with the fans. It just makes life and football so much more exciting when you've got a real backing and a togetherness, and I can really feel it at the club, and it's a joy to manage. So thanks everyone who came.
Gotta say, I've been doing this job quite a while, but I've never heard a player described as a good old-fashioned can of Coke before. Have you ever been described as a soft drink, a beverage of any kind?
Warne can come up with a few sayings, there's no doubt about it. But you can see how he feels after the game today. Yeah. There's a difference in his tone and how pleased he is with the players. I think the last couple of times we've seen him, I think we've seen disappointment in his words and his manner after the games. And because Shrewsbury and Plymouth, we had every chance of coming away with 3 points. This afternoon, even though it wasn't pretty, and even though it wasn't a full 90 minutes of a wonderful performance, you come away with 3 points. You get 3 goals, good goals as well. You get the 3 points that we're desperate for. You show character individually and as a group. So everything that he probably values, I think we saw today without the performance being exceptional. So it's a great sign.
And he was happy to see the bounce. He said he hadn't seen that for a while, so that was nice. The game, though, I think the 90 minutes was kind of encapsulated in that first period because the home side Oxford started really well, but actually the best early opportunity of the game was Derby's, which was Mendes-Lang's, wasn't it?
Yeah, well, Oxford started well. I thought they had a little bit more intensity to them, a little bit more fight, which is obviously disappointing when you're watching from the side. We just seemed to come out the trap slow, and they were better. But it was Mendes-Lang that had the first chance where he drove past 3 or 4 players and had the chance on the edge of the box. It was disappointing with the free kicks for me. I thought there's a little bit of kind of rashness to our challengers in giving them too many opportunities in the final third for set pieces, and of course they scored their first goal from a set piece. But then we got back into the game, and we got back into the game by set pieces ourselves and landing on second balls, and that final pass or that final shot being of quality, which obviously Haran set up Sibley in the first place and finished with his right foot. And the second goal was just individual brilliance of shifting back onto his weaker foot, which you'd never guess that is his weaker foot, into the top corner. And the second half, again, was strange. They started better. They were on the front foot. We soaked that up at times. We got the third goal. And we just made it a little bit more difficult than we needed to in the last few minutes. But saying that, that's where you see certain players making headers, making blocks, making tackles, everyone digging in together. And ultimately we got what we wanted, which was 3 points.
Yeah, Sam Long scoring the first goal, and then Louie Sibley. I mean, I in the commentary watched it and thought, was there a touch from the defender there? I kind of held my powder dry a little bit for a moment, and which we'll come to later, obviously, with the James Collins one, which was the other way round. But yeah, Sibley's goal definitely at that near post of that first goal, and the second one was excellent as well, as you say.
Yeah, well, Paul talked about detail, I think, after the last post-match against Plymouth. And detail was the key in the first half. So those 2 moments where you land on the second ball on the edge of the box, you pick it up, you find a pass, and you put in the back of the net. Those little key details can be huge in tight games and huge over the course of the season. And set pieces, we've been poor. We have been poor over the course of the season. That will infuriate Warne because he understands the importance of them, both with his time as a player. It was so important when we was under Ronnie Moore's helm, kind of winning the set pieces, long throws, balls into the box, corners. That's where his kind of affinity to wanting to compete in those areas. Obviously with Rotherham and having success in this division is based on those details. So he wants to bring that to this group of players as well. So you'll be delighted with a couple of the goals, delighted with the character, and again, just probably relieved that we've got the 3 points away from home because we've been pretty keen to get that recently.
I went in all in on James Collins. I certainly gave it to him. I mean, we've watched it back a few times. We've heard now a couple of the interviews. Obviously, there was clearly a touch from Sam Long, but as a striker, he's put himself in the picture. He's put himself in the right position, and the third goal, in the end, proved to be very, very crucial.
It did. It's always so important to get that 2-goal clear space between yourself and the opposition. The first one with Sibs, great finish because he allows the pace of the cross from Harahan just to direct it into the far corner. The Colo one, great ball in from Rooney, who grew into the game. The first 20 minutes or so, I thought he might have a tough time against the winger, but dealt with that pretty well after the first 20, put a wonderful ball into the box, and it was Colo that just got in between the 2 centre forwards, as Warne mentioned there. Sorry, the 2 centre halves, found that little gap, got a touch on the ball. Like, you can't see it from the angles that we're looking at, whether it was going in the goal. It definitely came off Long. That's strikers sticking up for strikers. He wants him to get the goal, and he'll want that confidence to grow.
The goalkeeper for Derby obviously would be disappointed, I think, with the first goal, but in that second half, there were a couple of vital blocks. And, you know, you said they didn't look spectacular, but he was in the right position. There were saves that needed to be made.
Yeah, there was a couple of very, very good saves. We know Wildsmith is a good shot stopper. There's a couple of routine ones, but everything he did well this afternoon. He came and collected a couple of balls in the air. He came and punched a couple when the team were under pressure. He made 3 or 4 really good saves. The one fingertips to his left-hand side was wonderful, and the one that he had to get down really low and quickly just to get something on it. And that was a hugely important period of the game where Oxford were on top. I think they should have got back to 2-2. It was only poor finishing from them, and obviously Wildsmith in goal that kind of kept him at arm's length. And again, the importance of the third goal is huge. So I think there was 3 or 4 really positive performances. I gave Sibs the player of the match because he's been playing left back and it's not his favourite position. He's in that little 10 position. He had 2 opportunities in the game. 3 because he had the header in the second half. He had 2 clean opportunities. He took them both, and those moments of quality, of magic, can separate the 2 teams.
And talking of Joe Wildsmith and the saves that he made, had one of those gone in at that stage of the game, then you might have fancied Oxford would have got something from it. They did get that second goal, but if anything, it was just a little bit too late coming on the 90th minute.
It was too late. It was a frustrating goal to concede because it was easily avoidable. Cash has to stay with the runner. At that stage of the game, stay goal side, stay with the runner, deal with the ball over the top. He allows him to run, and it just gives them a little sniff. But we don't know. If Oxford had got that second goal in the second half, we would have had to see that resolve and regrouping of the group. I thought changing so many players was interesting from Warne. Bringing back Colo, obviously McGoldrick's injured, which is the natural swap anyway, and bringing back Curtis Davis. What you have is 2 experienced characters. All of a sudden you start in 11, and I agree with Warne. I thought Curtis started slow, but as the second half progressed, as more and more balls went into the box, that's his strength, that's his quality. And just having 2 experienced players that maybe won't let things go at times. I know you watch Colo and he can get on his teammates, and that helps, I think, create that character and that resilience to win games. So many positives. Without being exceptional, we did enough to get 3 goals away from home, to pick up 3 points, to get that kind of togetherness that we've maybe struggled with it a little bit over the last couple of weeks. It's a wonderful afternoon.
Yeah, wonderful afternoon. We're live on Facebook on RamsTV with the Derby Debrief. I did say we were hoping to speak to Louie Sibley. We can go back to the Kazan Stadium now and hear from him.
Louie, we'll come to your personal performance in a moment, but how important was it to have a positive result on the road after the struggles over the last month or so?
Yeah, it was massive. Obviously, you can tell today the last 10 minutes was a bit tight, but we showed as a team that we can dig in. But it's one of them. We know the last couple of games hasn't been perfect, but today was one of those places where you come. But yeah, you got to show character, and that's what the whole team. I think everyone played well, everyone dug in, and yeah, it was great to see.
After going behind early on, it would have been easy to let your heads drop, but like you just mentioned, you did show a lot of character there to come back.
Yeah, we were saying inside, I think the character we've got now, obviously the last couple of games, like I said, hasn't been great, but we've stuck together. We know the first 10 minutes wasn't great, obviously conceding, but after that we've dug deep. Obviously the first goal, good ball from Connor, and yeah, we're back in it, so it's great character from the team really.
On to those goals then. You're getting yourself into the 6-yard box pretty much, wasn't it, to meet Connor's ball? How pleased were you to score that? Yeah,
you can tell by my reaction, obviously I was buzzing, but like I said, it was a great ball from Connor. Another great assist from him, but for me, obviously back in the 10, it's obviously important to score goals and create chances really, so yeah, I was really delighted to get the goals, but like I said, it was probably more important 3 points as well.
Another one with your right foot as well today, that must have pleased you.
Yeah, the swinger's back out, so yeah, obviously been practising my right foot as well, so like I said, I do prefer midfield, so yeah, like I said, I was back in there today and I was happy to be involved.
Yeah, I know you've mentioned how you've enjoyed filling in at left back throughout the season, but back in your more natural position today, how did you feel you performed back in that role that you prefer to play?
Yeah, no, I feel like me and Colo worked well. Obviously, we knew how to stop them, so I feel like me and Colo worked well there. But yeah, no, that's what it is. It's me attacking midfielder. I feel like I can create more chances. I'm involved more. Obviously, like I said, I've enjoyed left back, but obviously, like today, I'm back in the number 10, and yeah, I feel like I've done well. But obviously, hopefully, it can carry on really.
James Collins, like you say, worked very hard today, and then I'm not sure if it will go down as his goal, but he certainly tried to claim it, didn't he?
Yeah, no, he's saying to the lads in there that he touched it, which all strikers do. So, now he obviously worked well. Felt like we worked well together. So, like I said, the whole team dug deep, and there was obviously top performance from the team. And that's what it is. It's obviously these places are not easy to come, so to dig deep for the whole team, it's great.
Yeah, you mentioned digging deep, doing that when you concede one late on as well to give them a sniff. That's important to really see the game through, isn't it? Yeah,
we're obviously disappointed to concede that goal because obviously then it made the last 5 minutes a bit nervous, but it's always going to be tight. And yeah, the back four was great. Obviously, you've seen in the last 10 minutes we were heading it, and probably our game management was a lot better this time. So yeah, it was a big 3 points on the road.
How difficult was it to pick up from Tuesday night to really bounce back? Because it looks like you've really shown a lot of character today. How difficult was it as a group to sort of get that boost that you needed?
Yeah, obviously, we're not going to lie. Obviously, we were disappointed because the top teams we've not done too well this season. Against Plymouth, we know the second half wasn't good enough, but that's football for you. We know that we've got to bounce back, and today we've proved that. So we've proved that we've all got character in the team. And it's back on. It's hopefully we can go on a nice little run now, and obviously who knows what can happen.
It's a lovely reward for those fans as well who travelled in great numbers once again.
Yeah, and obviously the support they show up and down the country is obviously amazing. Obviously from Plymouth to today, obviously massive respect, and obviously all the effort they put in. So like today, the 3 points important, but we always do it for the fans. Obviously that's the main thing. Obviously they show the support every week, so that's what we're trying to do. Try and give them back to them.
Back to Pride Park next week then, and you'll be looking to really kick on from today and put another run together like you did over the winter.
Yeah, definitely. Obviously another game. Hopefully we can get back to another unbeaten run. And like today was a big 3 points, and like you said, hopefully we can keep going, and who knows what can happen. We're confident in there, so yeah, hopefully we can get back to good ways.
Well done today. Cheers, Sibs.
Thank you.
Louie Sibley speaking to RamsTV. Let's have a look at the results elsewhere in League One today. At Oakwell, Barnsley 3, Plymouth Argyle 0. Bolton Wanderers 0, Ipswich Town 2, Burton Albion 2, Wycombe Wanderers 1, Charlton Athletic 1, Accrington Stanley 1, Exeter City 2, Lincoln City 1, Fleetwood Town 1, Port Vale 1, Fleetwood next up for Derby of course. Forest Green Rovers 1, Bristol Rovers 3, MK Dons 1, Cambridge United 0. Peterborough United 0, Cheltenham Town 3. Peterborough coming up for Derby end of the month. 25th is the date for your diary there. Portsmouth 0, Sheffield Wednesday 1, Shrewsbury Town 3, Morecambe 1. Let's have a look at how that's affected the top half of the table then this Saturday afternoon. Sheffield Wednesday still top of the pile, 77 points from their 34 games. Plymouth Argyle have played a couple of games more, 3 points behind, but importantly for Derby, back up now to 5th in the table, 64 points, putting a bit of pressure on the teams above them, Barnsley and Ipswich, although they have played a couple of games more, Derby, as we know, than Barnsley. But importantly there, Shaun, I think, is that gap now between Derby in 5th, Wycombe Wanderers in 7th, and that is 7 points now, that gap, as we just have a quick look at the bottom of the table. Oxford just 3 points above the drop zone. Their new manager has a job to do, but 7 points above the team in 7th at the moment. That is a nice kind of gap to have, isn't it?
It is. It's so important to get the 3 points today. Wycombe obviously losing away at Burton, so it's a great result for Burton and for us. So to keep that gap, to go kind of above Bolton and to stay in a really promising position. If you'd given me this position at the start of the season, I think everyone would have took it. It's been a frustrating maybe 3 or 4 weeks because of the standards we've set, but hopefully this performance, this result can kind of build our confidence up and hopefully get some more positive results in the next couple of weeks.
Yeah, because the manager was asked ahead of this game about training and whether he had to pick the players up after the defeat, whether he'd seen a reaction in training, and he said not really, because the players, the group, do train well. The senior pros are good senior pros, the younger pros look up to them and take their lead from them. But do you feel that there might just be a little bit more of a bounce on Monday when they get back?
You hope so. It does feel like a
turning point?
No, more of it's a confident group. Right. So when they're in full confidence, and we've seen it early in the season when they lost 1 in 17, they just fly past teams and they play with a real kind of swagger. Now, the last few weeks, the confidence has been hit a little bit and we've suffered. So this is just another opportunity to build on that, to get the away points that were needed. 3 goals away from home. Little moments in the game went for us rather than the opposition, which we haven't been used to the last few weeks. So if we can get this team confident in the next 2 or 3 weeks, then I'm sure we're seeing the best of Derby that we've seen previously in the last few months. So it's a team that needs confidence, it's a team of players that can perform on the day, and hopefully this is just that little boost.
Well, enjoyed your company again this afternoon, so thank you very much for that. It's finished on Rams TV, on the Derby Debrief on Facebook Live. It's finished Derby County 3, Oxford United 2. Now, Oxford is known, of course, for its famous university and as a seat of learning. And the learning that we have discovered this afternoon is if you take your chances, you're going to win games. Good night.